All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
86, episode 17. Yeah.
Shit.
Everybody's
just popping off right now.
And potentially popping right now because artillery blast from a long ways away and it just hit them right where they were at.
Yeah. Now, the terrifying thing is that, well, Kiri is, he doesn't want to hurt Frederica, right?
But Frederica's dead, so, you know. Yeah, my mind is full of fuck. It's also split in two places right now because on the one hand, I'm like, what the fuck I'm very curious to see how our five, people over there.
They're all fine.
They're fine.
It was probably a cliffhanger for the tension.
It hit far away. It was just the glass,
flash,
They didn't actually get bombarded as the main target, right?
Right, but they might have to retreat now.
They might have to retreat. Yeah. But then it's like, oh wait, what's happening with Lena or Bloody Regina as she is marshaling the 86 within the minefield line or whatever of the Republic to defend them against the Legion.
And she also said deactivate those mines. So
they're inside.
This is going to be a very crazy next set of episodes at the very least, because I don't see this resolving anytime soon.
No,
in the immediate episode sense.
After how much just straight combat we got in the previous episode. I get the feeling we're in for a very long night.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, Sawano.
Yeah, pop off.
Yep. Oh my god. Jeez.
Wow.
Oh my god. Fucking go, Lena!
Alright!
Holy shit! Holy shit, they're out in the field. This is nuts.
Oh my god! If the show had wanted to, they could have just not done an OP right there, and that still would have worked fine.
Yeah.
I mean, she can look regardless.
Whoa.
Okay. Holy shit.
Wow. Gone. 800 millimeter. 400 kilometers.
Holy shit.
A railgun, yep. I was gonna say, the speed has to be a railgun, yep.
Cool. Okay. So they were able to retaliate somewhat.
Somewhat. Okay. Cool. Let's bring in the other nations, yeah. Whoa.
Damn.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh, that's very human design idea.
Oh my god.
Oh no. The war's over. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
We lose.
I
love it. It's a Death Star. We need to send a small strike team.
Death Star. Yep. Dare we ask them to go on one last suicide mission?
Oh.
Okay.
Gotcha. And you're never going to have that against the Legion. I like the idea that they've tried this, though. A whole nation has dedicated a bunch of its weapons technology to try and send, remotes, like drones as, suicide bombs, basically.
Well, and this kind of explanation is It's so easy to just leave it out, but you lose so much by doing that.
Yeah. We need a spearhead then.
Right. Yeah, attrition does not work here.
Right, so they have 8 weeks. They can't spend time waiting those 8 weeks.
Nope.
Huh.
Yeah, that's kind of how this will work. Oh, damn. Okay, well, I would think that wouldn't be a factor at all, but okay. That being said,
I think he doesn't want to send them specifically.
oh, okay.
Because I think they would be missed. It's the thing of like,
sure.
No.
Right.
Yeah. We want you to stay here.
You actually hear the pin drop.
Those are estimates, yeah. Could be 6 weeks. Yeah. It's a whole.
Yep.
It's a whole mix of shit.
Uh-huh.
Whoa. They heard the voice too.
Well, that's interesting.
That would be terrifying. Hearing a screaming voice saying like, "Die!"
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh fuck. That voice
The voice acting for that was so good.
Go now.
Yeah. 2 months to execute a plan.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Come on. Iron Rain, Jacob, the OP.
yes!
Holy
yes!
shit. I just realized
Fuck yes!
they're gonna
so
fucking
awesome.
fling them there.
Yeah.
Or airdrop
Although
them.
AA guns would probably make that a bit difficult.
No, but that's the thing. If they're able to maneuver a little bit. Cool, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's with this music, though?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Whoa. So that was back then. Whoa. Okay, okay. Yeah. During all that time, he
Right.
was glazed over and
Okay.
thinking about survivor's guilt on a whole nother level, a psychic
Drips
level.
down like a tear. Oh yeah, he would probably be one of the few people that could, because even if they're moving it, they could track it.
Wow. Damn. Whoa, as a decoy.
Okay.
Aerial entry.
All right.
Wow. Okay, no.
Other 10 aren't going to be too happy about that.
Yeah, the edge of the spear. Yeah, yeah. Let's bring it all back.
Oh my god. And they wouldn't necessarily even know that, that
Right.
that's the name of their old squad.
Oh. Oh. That's such a good visual to... Shit. God, that is beautiful.
And that wasn't just the ones from Spearhead, that was
No.
probably everybody.
Yep. Hey.
That's also true.
Yeah. Right, we don't need you to basically, you know, go off wild on your own and kill as many Legion. It's just... wow. I'm impressed that she's still, like, trying to make it go this way. Damn, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. That actually is a very simple, practical...
Yep. Makes sense.
I could give the orders from here, but it'll take a few seconds or something, or maybe it will, you know, get jammed communication-wise.
Damn.
There it is. Oh. Oh.
Okay.
That's all he can do, yeah.
Fucking glory to the Spearhead Squad.
Yep. Yep. Ha! Oh, Jew. All right.
Yep. It's just another day.
Yep. The mission isn't today. Let's live.
Yep. We know how to work with this.
Wow. Well, R.I.P. to the Republic.
Yeah. Oh, and her old room.
I mean, but still, like, there's no on-screen stuff. So
nope, that's true. That's true.
So, all right.
Okay.
We got ourselves an aerial suicide mission.
Yeah.
Iron Rain.
Fucking glory to the Spearhead Squadron.
Yeah.
I love the way in which they probably didn't even realize that their old squad was called Spearhead, right?
They might have brought it up in briefing.
They might
have been here for a while, but yeah, it does feel kind of ironic in a very dark way that we're going to use you exactly the same way
that the Republic did.
Right, but in a unique twist of things, because of the way that the Republic was, the option for you all to basically not go involved in this mission and basically have other people die in your stead reviles them because that's what the Republic did.
Exactly.
So there's almost like this kind of guilt manipulation of sorts at play on the Federation side of things, where it's our guilt compels us to say something about we shouldn't let you do this, but also we're going to command you to do it behind the scenes and
behind closed doors. One of the reasons that they listed that seemed odd to me was the least likely to be missed. Because if you're talking about an extinction level event, right? Like all countries will be wiped out by this, equivalent Death Star, new weapon, that can just go around and kill everybody. You'd think it would just be about the effectiveness of the team, but there might be some other political things to it, and potential bits where if some of them are like, we kind of do hate the 86 a little bit, right? That's sort of just a little cherry on top, right?
God, yeah.
And the thing about this that is so fascinating to me is the conversation that Shin has with his commander in the truck, right? Because she's the one fighting for him, right? Like, hey, no, this is wrong. Don't have them go on the suicide mission. Like, come on, what are you talking about?
But is she just doing it out of guilt and pity?
Exactly. And there was a notion that I had that I feel like Shin was kind of talking about, but not as explicitly. They were because he talked about are you trying to make us not be who we are?
Yeah.
They were turned into the people that they are now because of the way that the Republic treated them.
Yeah.
The fact that they are so competent with fighting is an emergent property of the fact that they were constantly set out to the front lines, and they're the 5 that survived out of the, all the others who didn't, right?
Yeah.
So naturally, they're going to be very competent, over this long period of time, which then means that they are the best option in this situation where we need someone that can absolutely finish the mission, that is used to being behind Legion lines. Shin, on top of that, has this whole psychic awareness thing. Like this makes sense, and yet it looks exactly the same down to the name of the squad, right, for this mission to what the Republic did.
Right. And yet I still feel a little bit odd that they're not ordering Shin to be like, no, you are not allowed to actually go. However, your friends? No. They'll go.
Right, and I think that's specifically just because he has the ability.
Well, no, I know, but that's the reason why they would want to keep him around.
Exactly, right. You might be a little bit too valuable. The others, whatever. They can't do what you can do.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm surprised didn't come up. Instead, it was phrased as none of you have to go because you have the power. We're gonna have you order them in how to move. We'll basically have some kind of communication established, which I'm kind of excited to see them get all chipped basically and set up again, because that's something that, we will see what the effects of that will be. And personally, the thing that I've been kind of waiting for is to have a moment where they all get, chipped in again, and then it's hey, on your 6, Shin.
Yeah.
And it's fuck, wait, what?
Right. Well, okay, so... Yeah, there's
there's so many things.
For a second in this episode, I even was wondering if they were saying that LENA had maybe been even absorbed into the Legion.
Maybe.
Because when Shin heard her voice, it had the same kind of effect as the other Legion voices, but that was probably just because he was distraught, and so it was this whole confusing, chaotic thing.
Yep.
But that would be...
But that's on the table.
Oh, boy.
The Republic is losing. The 86 were brought in. The fight is happening on the Republic's soil in their cities, and the Legion is there now. Because Kiri, I'm just gonna call him Kiri, who is probably now at this point almost confirmed to be the one that is Morpho.
Yeah,
because of the way that they said that people heard the voice.
Right.
Which was such a throwaway line where I was like, wait, people what?
Like, the Shin hearing the voice. Cool.
Understandable.
Everyone else hearing the voice, wait, what?
Yeah, it sounds like the kind of thing of where the blending of the psychic, the technology of the Legion's weaponry, but then the technology of the Legion, absorbing people into their hive mind or what have you through harvesting brains, all seems very blended in this moment here, where in almost like an utterance of a spell, Kiria basically said everything over there die, and the energy of that psychically carried over to the point where everyone heard it for a brief second before death rained upon them. Yeah, sounds like it sounds so poetic and dark and grandiose,
and kind of fantastical, right?
Yeah, it's very fantastical.
Like where it's the no. This is the harbinger of doom of the human race,
right?
That is here.
Y'all destroyed my people, my family, basically.
Exactly, and now retribution is upon you, right? So, okay,
right,
but it just wiped out all 4 of the operating bases. I like the bit that they said of the offensive from before was actually to draw us out.
So that they would achieve maximum casualties with the artillery strike.
That is such a fantastic way to recontextualize the previous episode without making it be something where it's like, it cheapens the victory or whatever. Right. Like in some ways maybe a little, but not really. Because they still had to fight like hell in order to make that happen. But there's just so many of the Legion that, they didn't need to send in all of their forces, right?
Something to actually add to this here. There's a possibility that because Shin did so well actually at repelling them by getting everyone in advance prepared, that the artillery strike was always there to hit them first because of the emotional motivation that Kiri has against the Federacy. But there was a possibility that they were not going to fire if they overwhelmed them, and then it was going to, okay, now send the railgun to another country.
Right, to more quickly hit the other places.
So Shin didn't just save lives of the people here, but he also potentially saved lives of the other nations by having the railgun basically have to be used here.
Right, because while it, from the people that died from the shots, it just ended up being a bunch of people over here. But they were able to respond fast enough so that before the last one was wiped out, it was able to send a bunch of missiles that damaged it and slowed it down.
Right.
And I really like that as a mechanical thing because, you know, you have things like, 15 hours in between like the second and third shot because it had to change out the barrel. Awesome. Yes, it's a railgun, so that's a thing you have to deal with, right?
It's not actually a fantasy weapon with no limits or what have you. We saw that it has a 400-kilometer range, which means it couldn't have actually hit the capital until it had dealt with that forward operating base situation.
Right, because it would need to actually get closer.
Right. Yeah. So also, then again, Shin also saved the lives of everybody in the capital by making it have to target the forward operating bases, which were still in...
As opposed to just going straight to the capital.
As just always going straight to the capital and just wiping it all out.
So awesome. Like, it's good stuff. And now we're in this situation that feels so, you know, it's like poetry. It rhymes,
hopeless,
you know.
Yeah, and cyclical,
And yet the 86 would not give this up. It's this is who we are now. Don't try and take this away from us because of our pity, because you don't like the fact that this happened to us.
Your pity, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We own that this is the life that we have been forced to live and have now been able to essentially kind of take back and make it be the thing that is ours. We will go to battle. We will fight to save people.
And we will die.
And we will die, but we will live up until the very last moment.
Yeah, like, that's the sad reality of it, because Shin, in the moment of his thinking there, has thoughts running through his head like, I have no one to go back to. What's his name? Theo says things like, yeah, I'm lonely. The idea that all of them feel isolated in their little squad. So it's something where, they have nothing else. And all these people with, I would say, a much more rounded kind of perspective on things are trying to tell them, hey, you can live for something. You don't have to die here. And yet, for them, no, the shame of potentially sending others to die in their stead is something that we can't even abide because of how much hatred and malevolence we experienced from the Republic, who basically threw us into that position. It's that hits too close to home. We would never do that. And it's that vicious cycle of where, oh God, that's so fucked up. The idea that the racism and discrimination that pushed them into that situation, that same logic is being used as the means by which they would throw away their lives on this suicide mission. Right. Like, it's so just dark.
The lasting impact of the actions of the Republic.
Right. Yeah.
And yet it's still the thing that they choose to do.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, they have the choice to do this. And I think that that's the really important thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But Lena, I really hope she's alive. And at the same time, that would be
so crazy. If
badass as fuck if she was a Legion, and or if that was her last scene.
Right.
That's the resolution of the Republic. She rallied to 86. They fought like hell. They, and you just have this silent montage of artillery fire.
I couldn't accept it, honestly. I want if her thing is to go out off screen, it's to something like a Morpho artillery strike, because Morpho didn't fire on the Republic.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they're kind of implying that they did not. Nope. If anything, the part that I feel like is the most exciting about this is that LENA had actually brought the 86 all together there, and she is risking her life doing this, and her uncle successfully kept her set up in this way to the point where now they had to move all the positions and stuff. We even saw what's her friend Annette there with her as well.
We saw Lena's old room trashed. So
they're going to be there's going to be an upheaval over there in the political sense.
Exactly.
Eventually, because I cannot personally accept any kind of for meta reasons for sure, but primarily because of just I need to have them see each other again. And even though it would be so perfect if she was a Legion and they saw each other.
Oh yeah, like that would be. If Shin didn't break before, he certainly would then. But this is the way. This is the reasoning and the path in which it will take Lena out of the Republic, right? Because before the whole idea of like, well, no, but she's got to like meet them in person. It's like, well, that doesn't make sense technically. Like, unless she were to go out there to visit them, but okay, no, they're gone. They're, whatever, if they're alive, right? She's not going to see them, and she can command better from behind enemy lines or from behind the front line.
That's why I think it's not about physically seeing her, but it's about being connected theoretically through the 2 iterations that are going on right now of the Para-Raid.
Yes.
Is that if Para-Raid was given to the Confederacy, they're going to use it here for this mission for sure.
They need that.
That's the only way that they'll communicate probably with them, through Legion territory and getting aerial dropped, which is the OP also told us about that. So I'm so excited for that.
But that's
a way in which Lena could theoretically then communicate with them, because they're going to be so far away from the Confederacy.
But also potentially bring in the cavalry. Because if the Republic is like destroyed, like let's say they survived, but it's something where, this whole place is just a wasteland, right? It's been absolutely torn apart by artillery fire and everything.
Kicks the Legion's ass so well that they drive the Legion all the way back, and it's like we've been chasing them for days now,
like a spearhead almost. And then maybe they're behind enemy lines and all that stuff. The other nations are like drawing the Legion away, and then she just comes in and does like a crazy awesome rescue op or something.
No, I think that from a meta level, that's the most satisfying thing you can have.
Rohirrim charge, Lena shows up.
Exactly. That's the most satisfying thing that Lena could do, because it would be a Republic officer leading an army of 86 to save 86.
Yes.
It would be beautiful.
Fucking beautiful. That would be.
Like, I want to make a bunch of Red Rising references now, but I
just how
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, leave me hanging here. Thank you. I'm just not sure really how many people here would actually get the references.
If you haven't read the Red Rising books, check them out. They're awesome.
They're a great dystopic sci-fi.
Yes. And also, something that I gotta say I really appreciated from this episode was the fact that they actually went into the detail of like, okay, so we would love to do an air support kind of thing. No, that won't work because of these reasons. Okay, we'd love to do, like all these other things that you would try before sending in a ground team, even if you do an aerial drop for said ground team, right?
Yeah.
And so many times when you get into stories where like there's supposed to be like all this technology or things like that or whatever, and then they or just big armies, and they don't use like basic military tactics, like it can be kind of immersion breaking. I get that it's a lot simpler, and from a meta standpoint, it is much
more narratively
easier
satisfying.
and more narratively satifying to have it be an on the ground kind of battle and stuff like that. But to go through the steps to show the justification of why it needs to be this way, rather than just, why not? Aircraft don't exist in this world or whatever, like.
Oh, right. But there was another nation, and I wanted to bring this up because I feel like this was more of a world building setup episode than anything else, because they showed these 2 nations here. We have Crown Prince Zafar of the United Kingdom of Roa Gracia. We have Lieutenant General Bel Aegis, Alliance of Wald. We have Ernst here, of course. And then we have this...
the general of...
general of the Confederacy and stuff like that there. Showing basically that, well, we did try our own stuff as well. We gave it a fair shot, and we used our drone machines basically to kind of give a scout of the region and stuff. our autonomous units infiltrated Legion-held territory and managed to observe the Morpho and got them 5 seconds of footage. And from there, they were able to ascertain what kind of weapon it is, what its capabilities are, what kind of range it is, what state it's in, how long it would take to repair. All that kind of knowing is half the battle kind of shit, but just done casually as no, this is something we can do, but it's literally the only thing we can do. And you know what this seems like to me?
What?
They've been fighting the Legion for a decent enough amount of time because the Legion is trying to fulfill the original goal that it was sent to do, to take over all the other nations and stuff like that. So it's we made fake Legion and we sent them in and we use them as scouts to keep up to date with what's going on. I mean, and then we as a nation give that data to others to keep our alliances strong. It's a way to build trust, right?
That does tickle the same part of my brain that really enjoyed Bill Murray in Zombieland. So totally different kind of situation.
No, but
yeah, I love it.
The idea that it's autonomous, meaning that no humans, but infiltrated. Not we flew over and they immediately were destroyed and stuff like that, but we infiltrated.
Either they're very sneaky and good at avoid being seen, which, I mean, I suppose maybe, But yeah. And then the idea that they're like, okay, couldn't you have destroyed it? It's like, okay, first off,
they can't carry a payload that big.
We would have to send a lot of them to do that. And that sounds expensive, and we don't know if we fully trust you yet. So we got you information. Hopefully that's good enough to start us coordinating.
I think you see them as way more anti-ally as stuff like that.
Didn't they say something about how like that would have like been incredibly costly?
No, they're saying this was incredibly costly. We just did send a whole bunch there. Yeah, it's basically saying, no, we could try, but unfortunately they can't carry that kind of payload.
And many would have to be destroyed to get one in.
Yeah. So it's we already basically sent a bunch in and...
right, yes. They did the many Bothans died to bring us this information, right?
Right.
I thought when they said one, I thought they were talking about to get a payload in. No, they're talking about just to get one...
Just to get infiltrated ones. Yeah, unit. To get us the footage, yeah.
Right, okay.
So it's the idea of like, no... This worked.
Right.
This is what we got for you. Please do something with it.
It's the equivalent of the tech guy that's running support for the spy mission, and then the spy's like, "Why can't you just like
do it?
Just fix everything for me?" And it's like,
and you're like, "Fuck off!
Fuck off! I'm already doing a miracle for you right now."
Yeah, exactly. Like they wouldn't be able to do any of this mission without the 5 seconds of footage that they got here, and then combining that with psychic ability, and I love that Seo kind of brought that up of, this is a scuffed mission. We've got 5 seconds of footage, psychic's abilities, and then just basic, strategic analysis, That's all we got, though.
One of the things that I'm curious to see if it would end up being used, and I get the feeling it won't be, but the fact that there was the 15-hour gap in between shots, there's a part of me that wonders if that's going to end up being like critical, where it's something where theoretically, I don't know, they managed to bait it to firing a couple shots at like sizable targets. Because like if they send their big army out in an offensive to draw the Legion away, granted it's probably going to be far away from the thing, so it might be outside of its range,
Yeah.
But like if it's not, I don't know, like. I wonder. No, it's probably not going to happen. But it's one of those things that I could see being a thing where if the thing is getting close to firing on a capital, and then it's okay, we need to have our army present like appetizing targets for it to fire its 2 shots that'll make it to buy 15 hours for the team.
They're doing a full offensive decoy,
right? To draw the army nations.
Away.
They're marching on the Black Gate and. I am all for that. Yeah.
We've got all the references we can make for the tactics and the setup for this, but it will eventually, like you're guessing, probably be the rebel base will be in range and
exactly. And then Han Solo, LENA will come in at the last moment and shoot Darth Vader, and it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
Yes,
I would very much like a twist of like Legion sentient commanders, because that was brought up again this episode, being others out there that are just new characters that Shin will psychically encounter, but it will be the thing of where Kiria is just a wild mad dog that even the Legion just throws at the Federation, and it's the actual like big commanders are the ones that will be like, Kiria, calm down, focus here. And it's like, oh shit,
Well, and that's where so this is complete tinfoil hat, like not gonna happen, fan fiction, crazy land. But let's say LENA did get turned into a Legion.
Okay.
Then you have a situation where we have a reason to show perspective of the Legion from the inside.
Okay.
I mean, I guess LENA would be like absorbed in stuff, so maybe we wouldn't, because like she'd be, assimilated and all that. But
personally, I think that LENA. Okay, this is where I think a little bit of like, I love the theory of LENA eventually being a Legion, but there's a meta kind of thing I think needs to be kind of ascertained here. We have a plot line that's kind of on standby right now because they're not in the Federation.
Yeah.
And we kind of need to bring the plot lines together.
Yes,
so
definitely.
From a meta standpoint, nothing can happen to LENA until she encounters Shin again.
Right.
Even if it's just for a second over Para-Raid.
Before they both die or something.
Before they both die.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
That has to happen.
Oh,
that is a narratively powerful moment that even if it is completely undermined the next episode.
Yep.
It still must
It's
happen.
written in the stars. It must happen.
Exactly.
I would not even be surprised. I would not even be surprised if it went as cliche but awesome.
Yes.
As Shin is like, okay, he's Frodo at this point. It's
Blood.
like, we're not getting home, Sam, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, LENA like cues in on the Para-Raid or whatever, and is like, "Don't give up, soldier. You can't die yet," or something like that, And it's like, oh fuck,
It gives me big Kamina Simone kind of energy there because.
And the question is we don't actually necessarily know which is which.
Well, in some ways, it's more that they're each potentially Kamina for each other. It's not about either of them being solely one. They both have Simone aspects about them, and they both have Kamina aspects about them. So
exactly.
It's the idea of the unlikely relationship that slowly but surely gets forged in this terrifying conflict. Yep. And all pretenses and discriminations and barriers are cast aside, and they merge, connection-wise through the psychic, fun, technological aspects of this world.
But I fully believe that it won't just be like a Para-Raid connection. LENA will show up like the Eagles on Mount Doom and pick Frodo up off the rocks, and that'll be their first time meeting.
I honestly think that would be really cool. Hey, you're finally awake. No, but I would very much like to see the struggle, the actual brutality of going through this mission in an actual full detailed thing. I want it to be a slow mission. I want things to go wrong. I want it to be an actual part of this arc, if you will. Not just we did it and it's done. Right, no surprises. I want Kitty to be a whole part of it. I want it to be a thing where it's wait, what does actually encountering someone like that, where maybe he's actually not Morpho, maybe he's actually commanding it.
Yeah.
He runs a full unit there.
Yep. I think that would be a lot more exciting personally, because then we can have something where he's more able to fight Shin, because you couldn't have a giant railgun thing like this actually fight a small, how does that work unless you go into Mercury arms?
I was literally going to say that. I was
that doesn't need to happen. But it probably will.
Yeah.
But one of the other things that I think is very interesting for them to get into potentially is that it's not just Shin and the other members of Spearhead Squadron that are going to be doing this.
Well, there's going to be a bunch of Nordlicht,
right? And I'm very curious to see the conversation that happens between them as they're about to go into battle.
Well, we saw the older guy from the there in the briefing room.
Yes, and he might be sort of the proxy representation for the rest of them. But as far as a unifying speech kind of a thing before they go jump into hell, because I feel you'll need something like that to make sure that they all have each other's backs, and there's no, if there was any concerns or bad blood or whatever, that's all taken care of, because we're about to go die together.
Yeah, exactly. Sawano just absolutely slayed this episode.
Yes.
The beginning chilling, wordless montage of the Republic being defended by the 86 and also just being crushed by the Legion was amazing. So many little quiet moments as well that just pierced through with the music. It was so good.
Absolutely beautiful.
But yeah, okay. We have just gone through a few days. We're not really moving that fast towards the mission. We're going to have 8 weeks of time in between in between now and kind of getting it set up. But that was amazing. They came up with a plan in just like 4 days.
Yep.
Or 5 days.
Caleb, I just realized something.
What's
You're
that?
totally right about the Mercury arms thing.
Why?
Because what's the one thing that makes the least sense in this episode? Why the fuck did they call it Morpho?
Oh,
You know, like big railgun artillery. We're gonna call it Morpho. What? How does that have any correlation to?
well, you don't know. It could be a mythical like name of a.
Okay, that's fair.
Like,
that's fair.
I don't want to assume why the name.
Okay, but when I hear
I feel
Morpho,
like that's kind of a dumb assertion.
no, it
maybe.
totally is.
Yeah.
but when I hear Morpho, that sounds like something that would have Mercury tentacle.
No,
arms.
it sounds Greek to me. It sounds like something that's this is a specific.
Yeah, there's probably like it's like, no, Jacob, you plebe. You know,
Read some Shakespeare for fuck's sake. It's the idea of like, what, this character's named Othello after the board game? It's like, oh, fuck off.
But like Morpho, that sounds like the mighty Morpho, like something that would be on like a cheap superhero comic.
Hey, you know what? I love you. I understand how you came to that
There were many
conclusion.
things that made me hyped as fuck from this episode. The name Morpho was not one of them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the visual elements though of Shin feeling the voices of his fallen comrades,
Yep.
and having, I believe it was Teo's voice or it was the young one, the redhead,
Yeah.
his voice saying, "Because you're 86," and then is the voices of all of them speaking out to him, and I loved that it was Daida? What was his name? Yeah, Daya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daya was the one that was like, well, then, it's just, it's how you live that's important, right?
Yep.
We lived with pride right up until the very end. That's the, little redhead shithead that was all the prankster and stuff. But the way they all dissolved and then had their dog tags equivalent kind of clatter to the ground, and then Lena following it up there.
Don't leave. I won't forget. Yeah.
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 But that's just so good. The little bits of subtlety is where 86 as a show, I would say, elevates itself from the dystopic kind of despair, children being put as soldiers.
Child soldiers put into mechs and everything. It's like there are lots of anime like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. It's these little quiet moments that make it, I would say, something really special.
Yes.
And the amount of time and effort that the show will put into helping us understand what's going on in Shin's head, given that he is our protagonist here, but not using his words all the time, using, tiny little smirks, little moments where he actually finally smiles. And it's okay, yeah, you're not alone.
And
not yet.
The letter was brutal.
The letter was really, that was a really fun way to basically get at the whole survivor's guilt kind of thing and recontextualize even more why he was specifically in that scene.
Exactly. It's very easy for something
himself.
like that to feel like it's done because it's badass. He unleashes his full power.
It wasn't. You know what I mean?
No. Totally.
Right.
And things like this are a fantastic way to help it be something where, while it can be very cool to see Shin annihilate Legion and everything, it's also like, fuck.
Yeah. It's the loss of humanity being kind of given context, where it's you can have someone just end up becoming a weapon, where it's I've lost sight of things, but it's no, it's not about him being a weapon. It has nothing to do with that. It's the idea that all these connections that he gets put into through just convenience or just the fact that he's a terrifyingly good soldier, then has people put expectations on him of, then you need to save everybody. Then what right do you have to survive and be so good at this? Why is it that you always come back?
Yes.
Couldn't you have died instead of him? And then that contextualizes the decision of, no, why would we?
Yeah, there's no way in hell I'm going to actually send someone, instead of me.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
That would be hell. That would be a horrific form of torture. Yeah. But yeah, this is happening. We have 8 weeks or seven-ish weeks now to execute the plan. I like that you brought that up of, no, you don't have 8 weeks to,
to make a plan.
To make the plan.
You have 8 weeks to finish this.
But I liked that they gave a very quick briefing within 5 days.
Right. Which is very quickly came up with the plan, and it's this is the best we got. This is what we got. It could work.
Now we'll train for it probably.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I actually really like that. That seems almost exactly like what they're setting them up to do. Is do you know how to do an aerial drop?
Sure.
Because we might not actually know exactly what's the best way to do this.
Well,
so.
and U5, can you help get them up to snuff of what it's like to be behind Legion lines?
Yeah, sure.
You know, because they haven't necessarily practiced with that.
What's that territory like? Did you walk through there? Did you end up just generally traveling through there?
An aerial drop might not be able to be very precise because of the anti-air like artillery and stuff. So they might have to drop you a little bit off target or something or whatever. You know, something goes wrong in the drop.
Or we're gonna have to do something that drops enough chaff with you all that the AA guns don't specifically start firing at the right targets or something.
Exactly. We drop a bunch of empty units as well.
Yeah. Or we're going to have those autonomous units from the Gracia Kingdom or whatever go in and be like, okay, this is where the AA guns are.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So we need to hit this angle here.
This specific pinpoint.
So the least amount of damage is done to us. You know?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Or that could be a thing where it's oh shit, we're falling. And they built AA guns. They predicted this. And then people die on entry. Like, that could be a thing where they don't have them here, but it's they prepared for this. They predicted this.
Well, and one of the things that I've been kind of wondering this whole time is when, if at all, are we going to have any of the 5 remaining Spearhead members die?
Yeah.
And I feel like this is where it could happen. And dying on entry would be a very cold, harsh way for it to happen.
Yeah.
They have also 15 others in the squad. So
there's some red shirts going with them.
Yes, it's the KOTOR 1 final mission. You have 3 ships going in. You're on one. The other 2 get blown up. Oh, why was it those 2? Because you weren't on those. You know?
Right, exactly.
But you could also have something where all of a sudden it's just, oh, shit. Raiden? He's gone.
Yep.
You know?
I honestly think that I'm okay with a little bit of plot armor being given to these 5 for now because honestly the dynamic is just about perfect. But 6 would be better.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
they're going to be initiating this battle, so you can assume that they would, even though they're rushed and up against the wall, they would initiate in the way that would hopefully make everything work out pretty well.
Right.
So
I think the most unpredictable thing is going to be what kind of ways is Shin going to have to psychically deal with Legion commanders like Kiri or potentially any others as well.
Sure.
And that could basically make him less effective than the others. So I could see this being a thing where it's not the getting in that's the problem, it's the getting out.
Right.
That's actually the biggest deal.
Crazy thought. Would Shin potentially be able to, even though syncing up with extra senses on Para-Raid makes you go crazy, could he sync up with visuals and all of that stuff to some of the other people and then also sync up the sensory however the Legion psychic stuff appears to him, also send that sensory data through the Para-Raid to make it so that they're all hearing the voices of the dead.
I think they would go mad, right?
Super dangerous and potentially go mad. Yeah. But if you were thinking of burn every bit of fuel you can to get this rocket higher so that we can accomplish the mission.
I see what you're saying.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Just a crazy thought.
I would love to see Frederica actually have her big moment to shine in this downtime between the mission starting and that. But all right, y'all, we're set up. This is crazy. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.